The dark truth behind Lil Uzi, Eternal Atake.
No way.
Lil Uzi Vert, welcome to South by Southwest in Austin,
Texas.
Lil Uzi Vert finally released his long-awaited album, Eternal Atake, 2 years after the original announcement. The album contains 18 songs and is 62 minutes long. Friends and fans alike have been spamming the EXO Tour Life artist positive reviews since the drop. While the album skyrockets to success in its first week, we realize that Uzi may be sending a much more sinister message than we think he is with this album. What is Lil Uzi Vert really trying to tell us with his newest release? Thanks for joining us on Lime Report, everyone. Today, we'll be taking a look at the highly anticipated Eternal Atake and the cryptic truth surrounding the album. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment keywords Baby Pluto for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Stay tuned as things start to get more and more interesting. Lil Uzi Vert dropped his debut studio album, Love Is Rage 2, on August 25th of 2017. Nearly 1 year later, on July 16th, he teased his sophomore album with one simple tweet, Eternal Atake. While confused, fans suspected this to be the name of the album. 2 weeks later, on his birthday, Uzi delivered more information in another tweet stating, Eternal means forever, Atake means to overtake. Fans were confused but happy. His activity meant that a new album was on the way. Along with the tweet, Uzi also took to Instagram, where he deleted all of his posts except two: a snippet of his promotional single, New Paddock, and cover art for Eternal Atake. While the artwork excited fans, the meaning behind it really began to worry them. Keep watching, as this is where things start to get weird. The original cover art released for Lil Uzi Vert's new album, Eternal Atake, featured the name of the album fitting into the shape of a keyhole, while set in space, hovering above the earth. Under the album title read a short message. As was promised, the keys of Eternal Atake are here again in Love and Rage. The UFO 2, as Lil Uzi Vert and his father 2,000 years ago. Fans wondered what this could mean for the impending album. The image set the internet on fire because Uzi has dropped projects the same day as the art in previous instances. However, while many fans were excited, some noticed some unsettling facts about the image. Immediately, the connection was made. The album cover was stolen from Heaven's Gate, an infamous cult formed in the US in 1974. What shook fans even more is that Uzi's Instagram profile picture had been changed to the Heaven's Gate leader just weeks before the cover art was released. Here's where things take a dark turn. You won't believe what happened next. Heaven's Gate was a religious group formed in the mid-70s in America. The cult gained notoriety when their leader, Marshall Applewhite, convinced the entire group, excluding two members, to eat applesauce laced with cyanide on March 26, 1997. The cult believed that by performing a coordinated series of ritual suicides, they would be able to reach what they believed to be a UFO trailing behind the Hale-Bopp comet. The original album cover for Eternal Atake was almost an exact replica of the Heaven's Gate logo, right down to the message under the keyhole. However, in the Heaven's Gate logo, the passage read, as was promised, the keys to Heaven's Gate are here again in T and Doe. The UFO, too, as they were in Jesus and his father 2,000 years ago. But the New Paddock star didn't just stop with the logo. He seemed to be adopting their belief system as well. Fans noticed Uzi was tweeting edgier messages in the days following the artwork release. On August 1st, the Love Is Rage rapper took to Twitter for another round of veiled messages. His first tweet rattled off, I'm part of the new movement, followed by a UFO emoji. The second, even more worrisome, I never really worry because I definitely transferred to another body. Please come with me. As Uzi began mimicking the ideology supporting the Heaven's Gate cult, his fans have become increasingly worried, especially since the remaining two members of the cult realized the copycat act Uzi had going on. That's the moment when things started to look bad for Uzi. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss what happens next. Lil Uzi Vert is known for his otherworldly ideas and flagrant personality, so it came as no surprise that he's attracted to the Heaven's Gate cult and their beliefs of an extraterrestrial afterlife. However, once the surviving members of the group caught him directly infringing on their logo, they jumped to action. Legal action. Word is that once they were able to contact him, the two members fired off angry messages threatening legal action against the EXO Tour Life rapper. When speaking to Genius, one representative from the group denounced the artwork as a clear violation of the group's intellectual property rights. He is using and adapting our copyrights and trademarks without our permission, and the infringement will be taken up with our attorneys, said the representative. This is not fair use or parody. It is a direct infringement, the rep wrote in an email. Sources tell us that the group was not seeking nor would they accept monetary compensation for the infringement. They just wanted Uzi to stop using their property and likeness. Once news of the legal troubles hit Uzi and his camp, they decided not to move forward with the infringing album cover in order to avoid legal troubles. After all, the album had already faced multiple challenges such as track leaks as well as roadblocks due to a conflict with his own record label. It's obvious he didn't want to have to deal with yet another problem. Later on the same night, Lil Uzi Vert posted a cartoon image of himself holding a key, possibly still paying homage to the Heaven's Gate cult in a less troubling manner. Regardless, Uzi didn't end up going with either cover. He instead opted to have 3 new works of art created and allowed his fans to vote on which he would use as the official album artwork. So, that's the end of Lil Uzi Vert's involvement with Heaven's Gate, or so we thought. Yet the rapper is very persistent when he latches onto an idea he likes. Let's take a deeper look at the clues pointing to his occult involvement. Although Uzi chose not to infringe on the property of Heaven's Gate directly, his obsession with the cult persists throughout his album. Earlier this year, on January 4th, he posted 4 women covered in purple in an ethereal setting on his Instagram, an obvious nod to Heaven's Gate. The images resemble the purple coats that members of the cult were covered in after their death. Lil Uzi's fixation on the group has many of his fans worried. Some Reddit users even have a theory going on that he plans to have a mansion party, suggesting that he may try to recreate the stunt that the original cult pulled off in order to pass over to the next level. And while that may seem ludicrous, the signs he has been showing in his newest art is a bit alarming. Once Lil Uzi decided that he would not use the original controversial Eternal Atake cover, he presented Twitter with 3 new works, allowing his fans to choose the new art. Despite the fact that he didn't use the infringing album cover directly, he still pays homage to the cult in his current iterations of the album art in all 3 variations of the work. The first features a brown hand and a multicolored raindrop diamond surrounded by gold diamonds in the background. While the most subtle of the references, the cover symbolizes the prize of the next level, which is what Heaven's Gate called the world beyond Earth. The second cover, which became the official artwork of Eternal Atake, shows an intergalactic image featuring 3 women on the moon, waving at a spaceship hovering over a technicolor planet Earth. This cover also symbolizes the next level, but in a more blatantly obvious way. The 3 women waving are supposed to be the beings that had already passed over to the afterlife, which according to Heaven's Gate can only be accomplished via a ritualistic suicide. The spaceship is the method of travel which brings the enlightened beings to the next level, and the multicolored Earth is representation of the cleansing, known as the recycling, that Earth is supposed to undergo in the year 2027. The final cover is the creepiest. While seemingly the most normal at first, the third work of art actually conveys the most references to Heaven's Gate. The final artwork features Uzi standing in a massive crowd of people who have their arms outstretched towards him. Some of them are holding signs. The Eternal Atake rapper can be seen in the middle of the crowd with a heavenly glow around him. On one hand, Uzi is holding the world in its recycling state. On the other hand, a key. The people in the crowd are all wearing the same purple connected to the deceased Heaven's Gate members. And finally, one of the signs held by a crowd member reads, "Where is the key?" as in the key to Heaven's Gate. With all the references to the occult, one has to wonder, what's up with Lil Uzi's fixation on the infamous group? Eternal Atake has been highly anticipated for a long 2 years, but it felt more like 40 with all the bumps along the road. Aside from the legal troubles he's faced against Heaven's Gate, Lil Uzi Vert also faced internal strife within his own camp. The biggest reason the project was delayed so long was not due to creative differences or legal actions, but rather hackers and disputes with his record label. TM88, longtime friend and producer of Lil Uzi Vert, revealed that one of the most formidable delays to overcome was the leaked songs that were being purchased by fans via the messaging app Discord. Hackers on the app often sell unreleased tracks in discreet chat rooms, and Uzi has been one of the latest to fall victim to this. Uzi is known to be a highly sensitive creative, and so every time a song was leaked, he had to rework the album to perfect the image. TM88 went on to say that just one song leak pushed the album back nearly 8 months. Uzi also made his fight with the record label very public on Twitter. The star is known to be very vocal and didn't hold back against the label heads DJ Drama and Don Cannon. Thankfully, in spite of the struggles, they were finally able to get their hands on the album. The only thing on the back of our minds now is what Uzi plans to do next. We're told the deluxe version of EA is on the way. Will there be more Heaven's Gate influenced references in the deluxe cover? Lil Uzi Vert has always been one of the most eclectic rappers in the industry. While we don't claim to understand Uzi in the slightest, we can appreciate his creative direction and dedication, as long as it stays in the realm of creativity. What do you make of Uzi's occult obsession? Why the strong fixation on the most notorious cult in America? Does he plan to create his own cult following? Thanks for joining us on Line Report. We'd love to hear what you think on Lil Uzi Vert's moves leading up to the album. Also, please remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel, and comment keywords Baby Pluto for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway.